T4 Makwaba at by the POG political media. So see just say Ghana political headlines in the Apple a highway so I just bear near the penny the POG a bit for and so a boy a no matter the echo so my Ghana managers and Abusia as an epo a revenue the new book so I measure so subscribe to a POG media about your post subscription now I say no for so and so it's me account no so no matter the echo so POG media a highway so Nabusia yeah bo the former original chairman for the MPP political party Asante region chairman G0lds&Míníng na the MPP for the last 8 years former good year Chairman G0lds&Míníng and so I didn't shame much say na nya asem keto akra to say any form of good year na to say or best and now say onye so emfancy or mama sign na who say ono and I say oh this and someone na we na John Dramani Mahama and BNI for no Japan and the boys not to say almost so one instruction almost a investigation and for G0lds&Míníng a kwamboni ono so far one to say ono so say yinsu ne in real and also quite too much say forbidding gardens crown to say umia on also the machines are Bawumia on also the easy a year from a good year. Yes, near my original so a instruct a Japan and the boys and a mobile so Nabusia may say vegetable na yapo the right in summer and also a bit of with us.
My brother, my sister, I have talked about this before. I don't know if I should continue talking about it. But listen with rapt attention. I don't know what they saw in Chairman G0lds&Míníng that made them think that out of the millions of party supporters that they had, he was the best person to be the Ashanti regional chairman. Stark illiterate, lacks common sense, judgment is so poor, unlettered, and so ignorant. In a country where politics is about how loud you are and not how sensible you are, Chairman G0lds&Míníng can always be a chairman of not just any region, but the so-called World Bank of a political party. You don't need brains in Ghana to be a politician. All you need is foolhardiness, excess loudness. All the other ones you can add, and you will be correct. My brother, my sister, we all saw Chairman G0lds&Míníng sitting on TV with Addo displaying the gold that he had destroyed the country to get. I remember Addo asking him how much the gold was worth. And my brother, my sister, he didn't want to go straight to the point. My brother, if professors and so on and so forth, all hard-working doctors and teachers can go to school and deal with academia, and they have never seen gold like this, and languishing in poverty because the nation and the system decided to relegate them to the curb, who would want to go to school? Everybody would want to be like a Chairman G0lds&Míníng. No common sense. All you have is loudness. I have 3 radio stations, 4 online, and TV. I am your boss. Be careful, Black Rasta. Go and bath. My brother, my sister, it is sad where we are driving our nation to. It is sad. Chairman G0lds&Míníng, this one too, wait, is the chairman of their World Bank. It tells you the crop of party you have. They all didn't see anything wrong with Chairman G0lds&Míníng. Even if they did, they were shy of coming out to debunk and to lacerate all the noise he made because they wanted to be politically correct. I'm wondering why Ntumí is still not behind bars. Honestly. He did this galamsey, as we were told, to be able to build whatever he has built. Party Yenska. So they will kill billions in order to make trillions. They will destroy the land in order to make billions, whilst trillions died. These are the people we have in our nation. Now they are crying that he was one of the reasons they lost the elections. I pray that these guys never get into power. 50 years to come, when all these Ntumís and the rest would have been dead. Because galamsey kills. My brother, my sister, it is sad when you give power to non-entities. They would use the same power against you. I would like to end with this Dagomba proverb. The Dagomba say, and I quote, I do a bi kabolo jangbene nyinko yang mobe. You want to hear it again? I do a bi kabolo jangbene nyinko yang mobe. If you give birth to your own child and you call him a lion, make sure he never gets angry and hungry. He will make you his food. They have created a monster, and that monster is this Ntumí. He got angry and hungry, so he turned them into food, gobbled all of them, right from the presidency all the way down to the footstool. To God be the glory. Normally, I do not want to counter anything that is said by a media person, because I want to go for the big wigs, those who decide, the movers and the shakers of the nation in terms of political power. But I will just want to go through a little bit of history so that we will look at what Oketechie, my very good brethren, is talking about. Now he's asking what the business is for a democratically elected president to be dealing with coup makers. Let's go straight for the jugular vein. These are not ordinary coup makers. We celebrate Thomas Sankara all over Africa and beyond. He was a coup maker. In Ghana, a lot of people revere Jerry John Rawlings. He was a coup maker. The Bible even tells us, my brother, my sister, to resist all unlawful laws. My brother, my sister, Islam will tell you to respect your father and your mother, but you can resist them when they are drawing you towards ungodliness. That probably is the only instance Islam allows you to disregard what your parents say. My brother, my sister, we have to resist all illegal laws, all ungodly laws. My brother, my sister, now the Burkinabe president, Ibrahim Traoré, has proven beyond all doubt, at least to his people in Burkina Faso, that he means well. I have been to Burkina Faso 3 times since he took office. I have made a national song for Burkina Faso. My brother, if you truly know a bit of history, you will know that all the so-called Francophone countries were under bondage and suppression colonially. When Ghana celebrated independence and fought tyranny from imperialists in independence, my brother, my sister, the so-called Francophone countries were still in bondage and suppression. Their reserves were still being kept by France. And France still dictated to them how high to jump. It wasn't about jump or not jump. You must jump. But now you can negotiate how high you have to jump. They borrowed their own money from France. And if they refused to contribute to this portal of money, France would find a way of punishing them. I do not want to sound like a broken record and go too much into the history. My brother, there was a time all these Francophone countries behaved like the French. It was called assimilation. You know what historically is called assimilation? The so-called Francophone drank tea like the French. They spoke like the French. French was their official language. And the more you speak French, the better you were a human being. They took no decisions until they sat and corroborated everything, dotting the I's and crossing the T's with France. They were more or less puppets of France, even in their pseudo-independence. My brother, my sister, who for
sound like Hídé Media, I need a new book on some so by like and I want to subscribe to POG Media as well. But your subscription no share. No for so and so it's me a canon zone no matter the echo a Ghana a political highway. So no see as a man say every told you come here say na a brana Japka&Nál't and I say a the MPP a manyoku no or mumfa a obi a say sebi a own dear and I say and also a beboa a political party no only omufa obi a say ono so nsem obi anase se na no odin anase na ne adin a obetimi aboa omo political party na say omo ndwene oman ne ho as a nation na say beboa nipa obeboa amoman na koso na emo omo ndwene nipa obeboa amomo political party no and so akoso.
He made things worse. He was the king of assimilation. Everything they did, France would have to put a thumbprint even in their so-called independence. So a time came when some of these young soldiers decided that enough with France. They wanted to break loose. They wanted to be able to stand on their own. France is such a wicked country if you don't know. I have visited France twice in my life. In colonial times, France was worse than a demon. They colonized more countries than even the English. Look at how they treated their so-called colonies. I'm taking you through a history lesson. Listen. When they went all the way to Guinea, you know what they did there? You know what they did to Ahmed Sékou Touré? When he demanded independence, they went through the referendum and the people said no to France. They broke every building that they put up in that country. They sealed off all drainage systems that they built using the people's money by pouring raw concrete into all these drains. Everything they built in Guinea, because they had demanded independence, they broke everything down. All the gutters they built, they poured hard concrete into them, blocking all of them, causing artificial floods in the country. As if that was not enough, they carried off tables and chairs, including spoons, all the way back to France, leaving the country to suffer. Is this a human country or a junglist country? That was what France did in Guinea. Now fast forward from the colonial times into modern days. You know what they did in Burkina Faso? When the Burkina Faso leader decided that, hey, listen, We want our independence from you, and therefore we want you to back off. They stopped every Burkinabe from coming to France. They are actively on the streets of Paris looking out for the so-called Sahel, Mali, Burkina Faso, arresting them one after the other, tormenting them and returning them to their countries. Sometimes we hear that they don't even return them as proper human beings anymore. Whatever they do to their brains, we cannot say that on radio. We want our independence. We don't want you in our country. Therefore, no member of your country should come to our country. That's what France said. Having stolen so much from Africa to build France and even more, today they are saying no member of these countries should visit France. To those who are history illiterates, let us straighten them a little bit with all respect. When Sankara staged that coup d'etat with the help of Alassane Ouattara, who actually was the coup leader, you know what happened? Sankara was put in place because of his Pan-African values. First thing he did was to cut ties with France. The same thing that Ibrahim Traoré is doing right now. You know what he did? He cut ties with France immediately. And he came out with a slogan, which I pray that Ghana holds on to. La pays ou la mort. In Burkina Faso today, that slogan is coming back strongly because of this guy called Ibrahim Traoré. La pays ou la mort. It means the country or death. It means if we cry our country, we better die. How many Ghanaians can boldly say this? La pays ou la mort. The country or death. When all Ghanaians are running out of Ghana, every Ghanaian wants to go to England, America. They will sell their fathers and mothers in order to go to America. When they get a visa to America, oh God, is better than going to heaven. There are a lot of Ghanaians who will reject visas to heaven and accept visas to America. My brother, that is how serious the disease of colonialism has eaten into our bone marrow. Today, Burkina Faso is having a fresh air of relief. La pays ou la mort. All because of these guys that my brother Oketechie calls coup makers. They have defied all ungodly, illegal laws, and I support that. I am not a coup maker. I do not support coup makers. But in every law, there must always be a little section where there can be an exception. When Ibrahim Traoré came to Ghana at the invitation of John Dramani Mahama, he had an applause that was so tenderous. At a point we thought heaven had broken loose and God and his angels were descending on the parade. That's the power of the leader. Forget about the labels and deal with the content. My brother, my sister, Sankara, the most revered man in Burkina Faso, was a coup maker. But today, he's their biggest national hero. More revered than even the founders of their land, Yanenga and Riale, including with Raogo. I love history. And if you don't stop me, I will go on and on and on and on. My brother, my sister, if Mahama today is tying his girdles around these guys, it's just a way of saying, listen, to hell with colonialism. We truly want our independence. The Mahama that you see right now is not the puppet that you thought of years back. The Mahama that you see right now is a man of his own who is ready to leave a befitting legacy for his people. Can't you read that on his face? The Mahama that you see right now, look at his appointments. My brother, my sister, I know a lot of party people will be disappointed, but it's not about party. It's about the nation. It's about the legacy that will be left behind. That's a bold leader. Now let us get to the gold and Russia issue. My brother, Russia is a political nation that has taken sides against America. We know that. Russia and America are two different poles, far apart because of politics. Any African country that aligns in this political crossfire is an idiotic country. Stay away from Russia's politics. Stay away from America's politics. Like Nkrumah said, be non-aligned. We don't look east, neither do we look west. We only look forward. Even though we say Sankofa Yenchir. That's why you see Nkrumah's photographs always pointing in front. It's a symbol of the non-alignment movement. My brother, my sister, anybody who takes sides with either America or England, I beg your pardon, or Russia, is sowing the wind, and he shall by all means reap a whirlwind, as said in the book of Hosea. My brother, my sister, can I go deeper? If Mahama truly is aligning with Russia, then that is suicidal. We must learn from the mistakes of Kwame Nkrumah. Remember when Kwame Nkrumah at a point was seen to be siding with Russia during the Cold War? What happened? The president of America deceived Nkrumah into believing that he was with him and that he will give him everything. But they did not like Nkrumah's non-alignment stance. They read meanings into the fact that Nkrumah was a little bit more aligned with Russia when Ghana was going through turbulent times, when our cocoa was counterfeited. In other words, when our cocoa was duplicated. In fact, when our cocoa was replicated. In fact, when our cocoa, my brother, my sister, was made useless by America creating an artificial one, my brother, my sister, to compete with Ghana cocoa, the economy of Ghana slumped to the ground. America was no longer trading with Ghana. Before Nkrumah could say Jack, the economy was so hemorrhaged.
That's the George Brain RJ Penny and the POG political media and also Embra catching the political news, any daily updates, and go catching also who entered the echo so POG Media. So never subscribe to a POG Media, need your book also. Press up at your subscription now. I hit the notification bell on our share now for also answers what me. I can have a sort of share audience or bet me to abo at the comment section on wedding come on a POG Media brand. Ebeba na yensu ebema home. Me that's it. So Brain POG best share.